Hello, bros. This is new book Arrivals number 302. And it's a collection or a selection of some from last week and some from today, earlier today. All right, let's do it. I got to do some reading tonight. So, The Shriners, A History of Fellowship and Philanthropy. It's only a 49-cent book, so I figured I'd get it. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum. Peace be with you, dog. It's kind of criminal to place these guys with people like the Freemasons, like the 33rd degree, where people claim that they're part of the Illuminati. Obviously, these local guys are not, if there is a connection. Or maybe they are. You never know. Who knows? Who knows, buddy? Nick's. What's that say? Nick's Spaghetti. Nick's Project Positive leaving in December. What's up, bruv? An enemy of the people. I don't like these little reproduction copies of classics, but mostly because they look like this. They look like some kind of thing you typed up in your basement. But there was an interesting part on the back here. An Enemy of the People original Norwegian title, En Folkfiend, is an 1882 play by Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. Ibsen wrote in response to the public outcry against his play Ghosts, which at that time was considered scandalous. Ghosts had challenged the hypocrisy of Victorian morality and was deemed indecent for its veiled references to syphilis. I got two new books yesterday. What are they? Tangerine and Harry Potter, the 17th installation. I think I have Ghosts by Ibsen. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should read it. It's probably on here somewhere. An Enemy of the Peoples. This book I planned just to keep, but apparently it's worth some money, so if I could sell it for 10 or 15 bucks. It's funny, some kid, which is what half the people who come in there are 4-year-olds. Well, I guess not 4-year-olds. But some kid said, "Have you read Tangerine?" I'm like, "I don't even know what Tangerine is." And then the next day I was at the thrift store. I saw that stupid book. And I was like, "Come on, stop." I never read books when I was a kid. I didn't like them. I read newspapers and well, I did read books on baseball, but I mostly read newspapers. I never started reading books until late high school. Rebel cities from the right to the city to the urban revolution. David Harvey provoked a revolution in his field and has inspired a generation of radical intellectuals. Long before Occupy, cities were the subject of much utopian thinking. Thinking? Why do I always say thinking? Thinking. They are the centers of capital accumulation as well as of revolutionary politics, where deeper currents of social and political change rise to the surface. Do the financiers and developers control access to urban resources, or do the people? Who dictates the quality of organization of daily life? Fantasy Keepers of the Lost Cities and the Court of the Dead. Never heard of them. Authors: Luther's Protest, from 95 Theses to Reformation, by John A. Braun. Are these all supposed to be Luther? Seems highly unlikely. Kind Looks like Artie Lang. In our present day, you may think the idea of a protest is somewhat familiar. Does it bring to mind images of people holding bullhorns and waving signs, or activists with arms interlocked? By comparison, Martin Luther's first act of protest might seem trivial or unimportant, but what began with just parchment and nails turned into something far greater. Court of the Dead is by Rick Riordan. Why does it say theses? Theses is with an E. Isn't that theses? And not 95 theses? That's theses. I've heard of Rick Riordan. I think I have Rick Riordan books, which I bought to sell, and I've never processed them as such. This is obviously just a cursory glance of the 95 theses. Dangerous Vater, a biography of the boy who became Mark Twain. Doesn't really look like Twain. Samuel Clemens, from a Pulitzer Prize winning writer, an imaginative recreation. Are you kidding me? So this isn't even a real biography. An imaginative recreation. Keepers of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. Is this an actual biography, or is it fiction? It says a biography, but would it be a reimagination? What's that even mean? So what's it, like historical fiction? This son of a bitch is fiction. I'm going to put it right in the toilet. From a Pulitzer Prize winning writer, an imaginative recreation of Samuel Clemens's boyhood in Hannibal, Missouri. Yeah, I know the Percy Jackson. I obviously haven't read them because I'm a champ. But, yeah, I've heard of those. Like I said, I think I have at least 3 or 4 of those, which I was going to sell, but I don't even know where the hell they're at right now. Giants in the Earth, a saga of the prairie by O.E. Rolvog. What is it about? The classic story of a Norwegian pioneer family's struggles with the land and the elements of the Dakota Territory as they try to make a new life in America. Us, or is that U.S.? So it's basically a retelling of mythology. Is that kind of like Gregory Maguire, where he just takes fairy tales and reboots them? Which isn't really a new concept. A lot of Robinson Jeffers' long narrative poems were retellings of different classics, where he just changed the characters and put them into California. The fullest, finest, and most powerful novel that has been written about pioneer life in America. Padre Pio's spiritual direction for every day. Or is it Pio? Take concern to have your heart be more pleasing to our Master day by day. What's today, the 29th? 29th of September? Or is it the 30th? No, today's the 29th. See what he says for today. September 29th. Wage war against Satan. All right, buddy. Whether he comes directly with his malicious suggestions or indirectly, through the world and our corrupt nature, cause an uproar with that miserable apostate, and do not worry about his threats to swallow you up at times. It does not matter because he can do nothing to your soul that Jesus is now holding so close to himself and is upholding in a hidden way with his ever vigilant grace. Cheer up, beloved daughter of Jesu, because I am telling you the truth. Never in the past have things been as good with your soul as they are now. Do not let yourself think that your sufferings are being inflicted in reparation for your wrongdoings, because the Lord is afflicting you only to embellish your crown with the jewels he has decided to give you. To Rafalina Ceres, September 19th, 1914. Then why is it on September 29th? Start a war, bruv. You get any good books, you're going to see them all in here. I might as well show both of these at the same time. Candle Lighting Encyclopedia, Volume 1 and 2. They were not 50 cents. Where did I get these? I think I did pay 50 cents for them, but that's not. Maybe they were 49 cents. But this is not the price tag. This is from a garage sale or something. Where the hell did I get these? These might have been 10 cents, actually. I'm trying to think where I got these. No, I got these at the Salvation Army. These were definitely 50 cents, but like I said, these were not the price stickers. Psychology, Religion, New Age. Born in Des Moines, the Tina Ketch was raised as a strong Catholic. Funny, too, because I bought some pumpkin candles. Well, pumpkin and a witch candle today. My little witch, bruv. Let's see what the hell this is about. So these are the color candles you burn. Let's see about autopsy. Is that what that said? No, it said authors. About books. See if it says anything about books. Books. To deal. Oh no, you gotta deal with your bisexuality. Yellow, blue, and white. Hey, I'm gonna get rid of your bisexuality, brother. I got all my books from Kmart or Big W. Didn't know there was Kmart's left. I thought they were all gone. Babies. Parts of the body. Let's see what the hell this is even about. The vibrational rates of color is one principle that can be disputed by no one. In 1666, Sir Isaac Newton was credited with the first valuable theory of color through his use of a prism. Newton, who also formulated the law of gravity, may have been looking for universal principles not to be understood during his time, such as the correlation of his 7 primary colors with the 7 chakras of the body. All right, well, there's 2 volumes of that, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. I didn't know they had Kmart's anywhere. Meditation and Human Growth, a practical manual for higher consciousness, and also for animal bites on the corners. Barfy must have not have believed in clairaudience. Some persons can hear so well that entire poems, articles, or even books may come in words as if being dictated. It would come as clearly into or from outside the person's head as if he or she was listening to the telephone. Using senses as meditation tools. Meditations to broaden development. Beginning the process. Helps in meditation. Heart Light Inc. 819 North Mill, Plymouth, Michigan. I hope so. I mean, who else speaks English who's besides Canadians and they say a boot? A boot. There's no other place that speaks English without accents. The hell is this? Visual glands. Church of the Divine Child, Dearborn, My Chicken. Just a local thing for, oh, look at this. Divine Child Parish Family Christmas Celebration. God made us a family. We need one another. We love one another. We forgive one another. We work together. We play together. We worship together. Together we use God's word. Together we grow in Christ. Together we love all men. Together we serve our God. Together we hope for heaven. These are our hopes and ideas. Help us to attain them, O God, through Jesu Christo, our Lord. Babushka. Christine Babushka. What's this? Looks like a, what are they called? Obituary. Whitstock. Are they in here? Where's the Whitstocks? Gotta be. They're there. Who died? Edward? It was Eddie. Eddie passed away. Oh, what else is this? Nice stash. Can you ever take a guy serious with a mustache? I can't. I can't do it. 1987. All right, and then there's two booklets from St. Norbert Parish, Inkster, Michigan. I'll probably sell one of these. Look at these people. Let's get on the bus. Back in the day when everyone went to church and people weren't so much weirdos as they are now. School for Our Children. School Building Fund Campaign. Pray, Work, Pledge. The rectory opened March 5th, 1952. First bake sale, first rummage sale. 1952, they were rummaging too. Investiture in the Holy Name Society was a must for St. Norbert's men. There he is, the Reverend. Nice hat, buddy. Future site of Catholic Church. Property of the Archdiocese of Detroit. What roads this place was on. Grace Ruff. She's got to be related to Henry Ruff. Another stash. All right. Another local thingy. What's this? Oh, that's a postcard I bought offline for a QSL. That goes over there. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This isn't the actual book I bought, but I put the actual book I bought into a set that I was selling on eBay. So Here's the copy, the replacement copy, which is not in great shape. She loved Nicole. Nicole loved this book. Anne didn't say. Deanna didn't say either. Ecotopia, an environmental classic, remarkably prescient. Oh, that's right. I don't want to read the thing because I want to read this on this channel, so don't want to know what it's about. Other than the fact that, where is it? Northern California, Oregon, and Washington seceded from the Union to create a stable state. That's all I need to hear. Makes it interesting enough. See if there's any mentions of the crazies on the left who are now running around. Twisted Games, Twisted, Book 2 by Anna Huang. He can't have her, but he's taking her anyway. I bought this for resale because I thought I might have 2 other books in the series, but it turns out that I have a different series of hers for sale. I think I paid 50 cents for half off. Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies. I guess this is the Twisted series, huh? Oh yeah, it does say Twisted. The autobiography of Butch Jones, Young Boys Incorporated. Before basketball players were demanding multi-million-dollar salaries and actors were getting paid $10, $15, and $20 million a movie, over a decade ago, the notorious Butch Jones, infamous leader of the drug gang Young Boys Inc., was grossing well over $35 million a year selling heroin on the streets of Detroit. Which is why I bought this book, even though it's falling apart. And I may eventually read this on this channel too. Hopefully the pages that are loose did not fall out. I didn't even check. But yeah, that'll make it easier to read now that it's broken. The underground stream, Nancy. That was a B. I was like, what the hell's Nankfully? Nancy Lee Novelle Jonza. The Life and Art of Caroline Gordon, who I've never heard of. But I still got it. I don't know if this was a 10-cent book or what it was. Have a price on here? No. Maybe I paid $99 for it. Whatever I paid for it. Oops. The Enemy. Some idiot underlined it. Never understand that if you underline a random page but you don't mark it. What's the point of that? I don't know anything about this woman. Nancy Novelle Hanza belongs to a new generation of historians who have turned their attention to literary biography. The combination of her research skills and her scholarly conscience have helped her to reconstruct in studied detail the genesis of Caroline Gordon's novels, yet the underground stream contains more than important revisionist readings of a major American novelist. Savannah Spectres, I imagine it's Savannah, Georgia, but I could be wrong, and Other Strange Tales. Plus it is signed, so from 1984. Might be worth something to sell it. If it is, I will sell it. If it's worth like $5, I'll just keep it. Oh, looks like it's got moisture exposure. Damn it, Jam. Anyway, where's this from? Savannah, Georgia. Savannah and the Georgia coast with its old plantations, huge ancient oaks hung with Spanish moss, and tales of pirates, wars, fevers, African voodoo, and other supernatural doings has always been a legendary and tragically romantic place. Several years ago, Savannah writer Margaret Waite began compiling a collection of the fascinating folk and ghost lore of the storied Low Country. However, her research quickly convinced her that a greater untold story was present in the psychic experiences of ordinary people now in the area. In this book, antebellum estates, house museums, long conquered forts, and restored townhouses are visited with a noted psychic investigator in order to learn what it is like to live and work in these places today. It'd be great if I lived in Savannah, Georgia, but I don't. A Nearly Normal Life, Charles L. Mee. As you can see, he has polio. A wise and engaging memoir. Reading it is a pleasure. Make the whole world a library. Bookcrossing.com. Read and release. I wonder if this is a released book. Yeah, it is. Howdy, hola, bonjour, guten tag. I'm a very special book. You see, I'm traveling around the world making new friends. I hope I've met another friend in you. You have not. I will keep you and never put you back out there, buddy. Unless you're worth $40, then I'll sell your ass. A stirring, poignant, and ferocious autobiography. I have never read a more vivid description of what makes someone an outsider in our society. In 1953, Charles Mee, a 14-year-old high school football player from Barrington, Illinois, was stricken with spinal polio, a viral disease with no known cure. More than 50,000 cases were reported that year, mostly of young people who took sick during the summer months. A national panic ensued. Cities closed pools and beaches. Families canceled vacations, boiled their dishes, and avoided indoor crowds. Children were warned against jumping in puddles, drinking from water fountains, and making new friends. The March of Dimes became the country's favorite charity, spurring the vaccine research by Jonas Salk and Alfred Sabine. I thought Salk's vaccine was actually a failure, and that the other guy, maybe it was this guy, was the successful one, but Salk got all the credit. In this elegant memoir, Mee contrasts his painful experiences as a polio survivor against the relentlessly optimistic backdrop of the 1950s. The Western Way of War by Victor Davis Hanson. Infantry battle in classical Greece. Was Greece considered the West? Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? What year is this? 1994 and 2009. Never really seen a Victor Davis Hanson book. I've heard him on like different conservative shows. Has this guy been around that long? The burden of, it says, say, hoplite arms and armor. The helmet. The hoplite and his phalanx, war in an agricultural society. Your lunar code, the power of sun and moon, signs to enhance your relationships, work and life, by Lori Reed. Let's see what mine says. Gemini, no. Taurus. Yours is the second sign in the zodiac lineup, and being second in line, a follower is a position you feel most comfortable in. Unlike Aries, who comes immediately before you in the celestial year, you're not keen on leading the pack. Rather, like the bull that represents your sign, you're placid and patient, until, that is, someone waves a red flag under your nose. The symbol that represents Taurus resembles the head and horns of a bull. Although some see it as depicting the shoulders and neck, the anatomical areas ruled by your sign, And it's true that no matter how slight or slender you may be, you're capable of carrying more weight of responsibility on your shoulders than many other people. Your sign is ruled by Venus, goddess of love, looks, luck, and all things luscious. So you are essentially receptive and feminine. You calling me a bitch? Why you're so dreamy? Belonging to this sign means that you're sensual and pleasure loving. Mellow and easygoing, you're delightful to be with. People love being in your company, and you'll always have many friends. This is because you make everyone feel so relaxed, and because they know that you're a great cook. You can always be relied on to provide an extra helping or three. And this book was sold at Five Below for $5. This book I'm selling because I found out it's worth some money, worth about $10. So I will hawk this one on eBay if it doesn't have any markings in it. Let your spirit guide speak. A simple guide for a life of purpose, abundance, and joy. This is a clear and thoughtful introduction to building relationships with your spirit guides. Angle clearly demonstrates how working with your personal spirit guides and angels provides you with a support system that will make your life infinitely easier and more enjoyable. The Home Invaders by Donald E. Wildman. A shocking analysis of TV and the media and how you can help stem the mind-polluting tide seeking to submerge us all. I like these kind of books. I still haven't read any of these on the channel, but I plan to at some point. The silence of the church is deafening. I must go deeper and state the real issue. It is far greater than sex and violence on television. At stake is the very foundation on which Western civilization is built. Because of my work, I have crossed paths with many leaders in the moral revolution. During the past few years, one term which kept popping up from many of these leaders was secular humanism. I avoided that term like the plague. People who used it made me feel very uncomfortable. These people were trying to make things too simple, too pat. They were trying to make visible an invisible force. Nonetheless, there was something about network television which continued to worry me, something which I could not put my finger on. I kept looking, searching, trying to find the root of the disturbance. I finally found the answer. Before I tell you that answer, I want to share some other information with you. Humanist urge to use the medium. I wouldn't doubt if they use mind control. I know they use mind control on television, but kids are hypnotized by it. But kids are pretty much morons when they're little and have no clue what's going on. Not that they can't be smart, but they're not ready to be smart. And then they get smart until they're about 18, then they turn into morons again. Bread Givers, Anzia Yezierska, a struggle between a father of the old world and a daughter of the new. There's no way I could read this font. What the hell does this say? That is the worst font I've ever seen. I think it's half rubbed out, but what does that even say? First published in 1925, Bread Givers is the clear voiced expression. Where am I? Clear voiced expression of a young woman. I'm not trying to read that. It's ridiculous. Persia Books. You should be sued for putting that on the back of your book in that faint of a color. And I think the rest of the books are all Sue Grafton. And for years, I've been collecting these hardcovers. just because when you get about, she wrote obviously it's called the Alphabet Series, and she wrote all the way up to Y before she died. She didn't finish Z, so she only got 25 of them done. And I've had most of them, but I never made a list, so I didn't know which ones I was supposed to buy. So I finally made the list, and then I finally tracked down almost all of them. I think I only need Y to complete the set. And once I get Y, I also have a companion book that discusses the books. So then I will also have that. I think I'm missing I as well, maybe. I don't know. But now I have almost all of them. I need Y, and I need maybe one or two others. But once I get that, I'm going to package them on eBay, sell them for hopefully like $150, and then start looking for them all over again. And I prefer these kind. I prefer the older style when they first came out over this generic sort of cover. Yeah, see, that's when I think that was the first generic cover was. No, maybe it was M or N. But they went from these where they were more or less a one-off cover to the generic ones. Never read anything by Sue Grafton. Never wanted to. I don't really like mysteries, but it's interesting to have almost the entire collection without giving a shit about it, but I will sell them to somebody who does care and make some money off of them. All right, that's it. I got nothing else. I got nothing to give.